Congressman Raul Grijalva of Arizona's 7th District. Congressman, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you, Keith.
I've never heard of a congressman in the history of this country proposing retribution against his own state, so I'm assuming you're even angrier about this than I am.
No, it is. We're codifying into law, if the governor signs this, racial profiling, discrimination under the Constitution. We're codifying the fact that law enforcement now has a free hand to stop anybody that looks the part in terms of undocumented people, ask them for verification. It's unprecedented, and it's a horrible, horrible precedent for the nation, and we can't allow it to continue as though there's no consequences. And the consequences we can only bring up right now is economic sanctions. We're asking organizations, civic, religious, labor, Latino organizations of color to refrain from using Arizona as a convention site, to refrain from spending their dollars in the state of Arizona until Arizona turns the clock forward instead of backwards and joins the rest of the union.
This is your state. You know the politics of it. Is this going to hold, or are reasonable minds going to come in and go, no, we're in the 21st century. This is not Tombstone 1889.
Unfortunately, we also have Sheriff Arpaio. We have a mentality that has made immigration the whipping child for every issue involved. And while I hope that the governor uses her veto discretion to stop this bill, I'm not optimistic. And I think this fight is going to be both legal, political, and economic.
Am I wrong about this sort of behind the Iron Curtain quality here, that somebody whose ancestors moved to this country in 1777 could be pulled over and asked to produce their papers like we were in some sort of, as I said before, Hollywood World War II movie?
Absolutely. You know, I'm a citizen. I'm a member of Congress. I can be pulled over in my hometown of Arizona by local law enforcement and produce verification that I am indeed legally in this country. So it's not just looking to see who's undocumented. The profile is toward a group of people. And when you make that profile, you make it discriminatory, you make it fundamentally racist, because that's what you're asking people to enforce. And in doing so, you have violated all the important tenets of the Constitution and the rule of law.
And what stops this from being expanded even further? Not to suggest this isn't bad enough as it is, and the racism element is not as disturbing as anything I've seen. But what I mean, if I come on now and say Arpaio is a jackass, and my picture now goes up on a wall somewhere, could they pull me over? Could they pull anybody over? Anybody in Arizona? Any Republican in Arizona? And say, let me see your papers, and if you don't have it, you're going in for a while.
It's discretionary. That's the whole problem with the law. And the discretion is not with us. The discretion is with the authorities, and that's what makes this dangerous. It's a dangerous precedent. This is where we're asking the Obama administration to intercede, to say they will not cooperate with this law if it's signed into law, and if they don't cooperate, then the law has no effect. Second of all, it begs the question: if we don't pass immigration reform in this country, we're allowing Arizona to set a precedent for other states, other communities to be equally unconstitutional, equally discriminatory, and equally punitive. And I think this precedent needs to be defeated, and it has to be defeated on many fronts.
It almost overwhelms and obscures this other action about the House passing, the Arizona House passing the birther bill. Give me a few of your reactions to that.
That's unbelievable, to give a Secretary of State discretion on who can be on the ballot, and if you don't produce whatever information you're being asked to produce, then you're not a candidate. It's unbelievable. It's embarrassing to those of us from the state of Arizona who feel that we're much better than that.
Congressman Raul Grijalva, who is one of the great representatives of that state. Great thanks for some of your time tonight. Good luck with this, and we'll stay in touch with you on it if we can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Another